The gala shimmered with opulence until Elena Sterling's scream ripped through the chandelier-lit ballroom.
Arthur, the contractions. I can't hold them back. They're coming now.
Help. Someone call an ambulance. My wife is having our twins prematurely.
Elena collapsed. Arthur caught her, but the crowd recoiled in horror. Then a young waitress pushed through, eyes calm and certain.
No time. Their lungs aren't ready. Only skin can hold them here. Get back. I need warm towels, clean cloths, and space. Do it now. You, hold her steady. And you, stop staring and get me boiling water from the kitchen. Anything warm.
With calm precision, she caught the first twin, a boy, blue and silent. Immediately, she unbuttoned her blouse and pressed him against her chest, skin to skin, covering him with the fabric.
Breathe, little one. Your brother is coming. Grandmother's hands are with mine.
Paramedics arrived. Dr. Patel, the lead medic, froze at the sight of the infants warming against the waitress's skin. But when she looked up to ask a name, the woman was already gone. In the ambulance, Arthur held Elena's hand, but his mind was already racing back to the ballroom to find the woman who saved his twins.
Where is she? The waitress who stepped in. I need her name, and I need it right now.
Sir, the staff list is confidential, but given what just happened, I'll see what I can do.
I don't care about protocol. She saved my children from dying in that ballroom. Find her immediately.
Inside the cramped office, the flustered manager pulled up the night's schedule on his computer, scrolling through photos until he found a young woman with a neat bun and serious eyes.
Catherine Reyes, sir. She's been with us 6 months. Quiet, hard-working.
But when they called the number on file, it rang to an automated message. Catherine Reyes had already slipped out through the staff exit and was not answering. In the dim service corridor, she stood over a steel sink, cold water running, her hands visibly shaking as she washed away the residue of the emergency.
The boy was so still, so blue. Please, let them both live.
She walked into the kitchen where the staff gossiped about the gala, never noticing the waitress who had just saved 2 lives. The night swallowed her whole. Her studio apartment was worlds away. She locked the door, collapsed on the mattress, still smelling of the gala.
Those tiny babies. The boy was so blue. Did they even make it?
A photograph on the nightstand, an old Bedouin woman with wise eyes. Her grandmother, Nadia Reyes. Years ago, in a desert tent, Nadia held a newborn to her chest, saving it with nothing but skin. Young Catherine watched, learning the technique that would one day save a billionaire's twins.
Remember, child? Your body is the first incubator.
A letter from her brother Yusuf. Safe in camp, but the smuggler's fee had drained her savings. Every spare dollar went to keep him in school, far from the militias.
I can't let him down. He's the only family left.
Invisible, but her grandmother's lesson had already saved 2 lives and was about to change everything. Inside the NICU, the twins clung to life, their tiny bodies still fighting hypothermia despite the incubators.
Are they going to make it? Tell me the truth.
Frankly, Mr. Sterling, the skin-to-skin warming that Waitress performed saved them from severe neurological damage.
Arthur's jaw tightened. The waitress had done more than he realized.
Catherine Reyes. I need to speak to her immediately. She has to know what she did.
He called the hotel manager, interrupting the man's morning with a force that left no room for refusal.
Mr. Henshaw, I don't care what it takes. Get Catherine Reyes here today. Offer her any shift, any amount. Just bring her.
Sir, she's not answering. Even her landlord can't reach her. She's vanished.
Then, keep trying. I will find her, and I will make this right.
Back inside the NICU, a nurse adjusted the incubator temperatures. But Arthur knew the real warmth had come from a stranger's chest. Dawn Rain, Her cracked phone buzzed with missed calls from the hotel and a persistent unlisted number.
They want the waitress, but if they dig too deep, I could lose everything.
In his study, Arthur reread the neonatal report. Skin-to-skin warming prevented hypothermia, a phrase that stirred an old memory.
Skin to skin. My mother once told me a story like that. A Bedouin healer in the desert.
He opened his laptop and called his mother. Within seconds, her aged face appeared on the screen.
Mother, how was I born? The woman who saved us, what did she do exactly?
She pressed you against her bare chest, Arthur. You were so small, so gray. She sang Bedouin prayers for hours. Her name was Nadia.
Lillian lifted an old photograph to the camera. A young mother, a newborn, and the Bedouin woman with steady, knowing hands.
Nadia. But Reyes isn't a Bedouin name. It can't be the same woman. Just a coincidence.
He closed the call, but the name Nadia stayed with him, a faint echo that would not be silenced. In her cramped apartment, Catherine poured her tips onto the table, a thin stack of singles and tarnished coins.
This has to cover Yusuf's tuition. I can skip meals. He must stay safe in that school.
Years ago, under a desert sun, her grandmother taught her on a newborn lamb, blue, still, ignored by its mother. Young Catherine watched as Nadia pressed the shivering creature to her skin, humming until it bleated alive.
Your heartbeat is the first medicine, child. Never forget that.
The same heartbeat had steadied her last night, counting breaths for 2 blue infants on a ballroom floor. She tucked the folded money into an envelope and placed it beside Yusuf's photo, a boy with her own dark eyes.
You are all the family I have left. I won't let the world take you, too.
Before sleep, she touched her grandmother's photograph, silently asking if she had done enough for those 2 tiny strangers. She carried 1,000-year-old wisdom in calloused hands, and the man searching for her had once been saved by those very same hands. The next morning, Arthur cornered Dr. Patel outside the NICU, desperate for any context.
That skin-to-skin technique is not something we teach. It's indigenous Bedouin knowledge, passed through generations.
Arthur's mind reeled. Bedouin. The name Nadia. His mother's story. A waitress with no medical training. He called his mother again from his study, asking not just for the name, but for every detail.
The sandstorm buried the camp. I went into labor, bleeding, too early. She came out of the desert and said, "Give me the child." She held you against her skin for hours, humming. She said her granddaughter was watching from the tent, learning.
Lillian again showed the old photograph, pointing to a small shadow in the background, a child's silhouette.
A granddaughter. Did she ever say her name?
She only ever called her little one, but she said the child would carry her hands into the future.
Arthur ended the call, staring at Catherine's staff photo on his desk. The coincidence was too loud to ignore. Arthur called the hotel manager again, no longer asking for a service record. He needed family history.
We pulled her employee verification, sir. Her listed emergency contact is a refugee camp, and her grandmother's name was Nadia Reyes, a Bedouin midwife.
The name struck like a key turning a lock. The hands that had held him blue and still had now held his own son.
Nadia. It really is her. Catherine is the granddaughter. She carries the same hands. Then, tell her I need to speak to her today. This isn't a reward. It's a debt my family owes hers.
She's changed her number, Mr. Sterling. No one's been able to reach her since the gala. She's gone to ground.
Frustration burned. The woman who had saved his children had now vanished into the city, unreachable. Across the city, Catherine's phone lit up again, the hotel's number. She silenced it, heart hammering.
They won't stop. If I answer, everything unravels. Yusuf needs me. I can't get tangled in their world.
A legacy stretching across deserts and decades waited on the other side of a call she refused to take. The landlord's knock came at dawn, holding a phone with a message from the hotel. Come for a meeting or lose your job.
Catherine Reyes, the Sterlings want to meet you. Report this afternoon or your employment is terminated.
A meeting with the Sterlings? Did I do something wrong? They'll fire me. I can't lose this job. Yusuf needs me. If I am fired, he can't pay for school. I have to go.
She boarded the bus to the hotel, her stomach tight, expecting a reprimand or a lawsuit. In the hotel lobby, the front desk didn't point to the staff entrance. They handed her a key card for a private suite.
A suite? This isn't where they fire a waitress. It doesn't make sense.
The door to the suite was heavy, quiet. She hesitated, then knocked, bracing for the worst. She had no idea that the man waiting inside had been saved by those very hands in a desert tent decades ago. She took a breath, turned the handle, and stepped into a revelation that would change everything. The suite was quiet, Arthur Sterling standing by the window. He turned with an expression she had never seen, gratitude mixed with awe.
Catherine Reyes, your hands saved my children. Tell me, where did you learn what you did?
My grandmother. She was a Bedouin midwife. She taught me that skin is the first incubator.
Your grandmother. Her name was Nadia, wasn't it?
How does he know that name? No one outside the camps remembers Nadia.
He lifted an old photograph, a young mother, a newborn, and the familiar face of her grandmother, hands steady, eyes knowing.
That's her. That's my grandmother. How is that photo here?
Decades ago, your grandmother held me against her chest, just as you held my son. Your hands and hers are the same.
Your son? She saved your mother? She saved you?
She sank into the chair, decades collapsing into that single hotel room, the echo of her grandmother's hands, spanning generations. Before she could speak, Arthur's phone shattered the quiet. His face drained as he listened.
Mr. Sterling, the boy twin stopped breathing. We're resuscitating, but his temperature is crashing. You need to get here now.
We're coming. Keep him alive, please.
I need to go with you. The skin to skin, I can do it again. Don't argue.
They ran. Arthur's car tore through the streets, red lights blurring. Catherine clutched the door, whispering a prayer she hadn't used since the desert. At the NICU, nurses flanked the incubator. The boy's lips blew again. Dr. Patel met them at the door, face grim.
We've stabilized him, but he's slipping. His body can't hold the warmth.
Then give him back to me. I'll hold him the same way my grandmother held his father.
They scrubbed in. Catherine pulled open her gown, and the nurse placed the gray infant against her chest, skin to skin. Outside the glass, Arthur watched, a prayer of his own on his lips. The monitor beeped, unsteady. The next hour would decide everything. Minutes bled into an hour. Catherine's whisper weaving old Bedouin vowels into the sterile air.
Let your soul hear the drum of life, little one. Breathe with me.
The monitor's frantic beeping slowed. Numbers climbed. Oxygen, heart rate, temperature, as if the ancient hymn commanded them.
Temperature's climbing. His oxygen is holding. Keep doing what you are doing.
Catherine felt the shift. The baby's tiny frame relaxing, his skin pinking against her chest.
Stay, grandmother. Stay and show me the way.
He's stable. I don't fully understand what you did, but it worked.
Behind the glass, Arthur's face crumpled. He flattened both palms against the window, a silent sob escaping. The boy's fingers curled around Catherine's thumb, a grip so small it felt like a miracle.
You saved his father, grandmother. Now, we've saved his son.
In the silent hospital lounge, Arthur and Catherine sat side by side, the weight of the night settling between them.
I owe you everything. Name your price. $1 million. A home. Anything.
I didn't do it for money. My grandmother never took a coin for saving a life.
Arthur studied her, seeing not a waitress but a woman carved from the same stone as the healer who saved him.
Then let me do something. Your grandmother gave me my mother. You gave me my son. There must be a debt.
My grandmother would say that a debt paid in gratitude is enough. Tell me more about her, about that day.
Arthur described the sandstorm, the blood, the woman who emerged from the desert like an answer to a prayer.
She said the little girl watching would carry her hands. I never understood until I saw you that night.
She saw me. Even then, she knew I would be here.
They sat in the quiet, two strangers bound by the same ancient hands. The hospital's hum the only sound. Catherine returned to her apartment, exhausted. A worn envelope lay on the floor, slipped under the door. The camp is moving. Militia at our border. I need money for safe passage. Send what you can, sister.
Yusuf. He's never asked like this. If I don't send it, he could be lost.
She rushed to the table, dumping her tip jar, a handful of coins, and $2 bills. Nowhere near enough.
I've sent everything already. There's nothing left to sell. Nothing. Arthur would write a check in seconds. But I refused his money. I can't go back now.
She folded the letter and tucked it beneath her grandmother's photograph, out of sight.
Pride won't keep him alive, but begging feels like breaking the only promise I made to myself.
She stared at her cracked phone, Arthur's contact glowing unanswered. The choice clawed at her, but she did not call. Not yet. The letter stayed hidden, and the night stretched on. Before the sun broke, a black car pulled up to Catherine's building. Arthur Sterling stepped out, wearing an overcoat over his suit, his face etched with worry.
Catherine? It's Arthur Sterling. I've been worried since you left the hospital. Please open the door.
The door cracked open. Her eyes were red-rimmed, her bun loosened. The steel he'd seen at the gala was missing.
You've been crying. And that letter peeking from under the photo, the stamp, the handwriting. Is someone in danger?
My brother. Yusuf. The camp is moving. He needs money to escape the militia. I have nothing.
Then I will send it. Full passage, his school, whatever he needs. Consider it a debt my family owes yours.
Yusuf can't wait for my pride. Accept it. Accept it. Yes, please. Just get him somewhere safe.
I'll make the call this hour. He'll be on a flight by nightfall. You are not alone anymore, Catherine.
And for the first time since leaving the desert, Catherine let the weight shift to another's shoulders. A few days later, the neonatologist finally smiled. Both twins were out of danger, their full recovery a testament to the ancient technique.
Catherine, we've been talking, Elena and I. We want to ask you something deeply important. We want you to be their godmother. Not a title, but a real role in their lives.
Godmother. A permanent bond, the kind my grandmother would bless. Yes, I accept with all my heart.
Elena, still weak but radiant, reached for Catherine's hand, her eyes glistening.
You held them when I couldn't. You are their guardian now. I'll never forget that.
That evening, Arthur set up a tablet so his mother could finally meet the woman who saved her grandsons.
Catherine, you have Nadia's hands. First, my Arthur. Now, these little ones. Bless you.
Grandmother, see? The circle you drew in the desert has come full.
Later, with the twins sleeping, Lillian Sterling asked to speak again, wanting to tell the full story no one had ever heard.
The sandstorm buried us. I was bleeding 4 months early. Nadia appeared like an answer and said, "Give me the child." She pressed my gray baby to her bare skin. I thought Arthur was dead. She hummed, and slowly his lips turned pink. She kept him like that for hours. "Catherine," she said, "your body is the first incubator. Never forget."
Those words. She gave me those exact words before she died.
She said a little girl was watching from the tent, learning. That must have been you, Catherine.
I remember that day. I was so small, but I never forgot.
Lillian wept openly. Decades of gratitude poured through the screen, and Arthur placed a steady hand on Catherine's shoulder.
Your family gave me back my brother. Now, you've given me back my grandmother. I will honor her every day.
In that moment, Catherine felt Nadia's presence so strongly, it was as if the desert wind had blown through the sterile hospital room. Catherine excused herself for a moment, the weight of her grandmother's legacy pressing on her heart.
Your hand saved 2 generations. Teach me to save more.
She remembered the lamb she saved as a child, the twins' blue faces, the lesson repeated across her life.
This knowledge can't die with me. It belongs to mothers everywhere.
She found Arthur in the hospital lounge, her voice steady for the first time in days.
I want to become a midwife, a real one, to study formally and carry my grandmother's method into the world.
Then I will make it happen. Scholarships, training, whatever you need. It's the least I can do.
His promise was immediate, unhesitating, a debt repaid not with money, but with faith.
From a waitress to a midwife. Grandmother, guide my hands.
She looked through the glass at the sleeping twins. Her future no longer a question, but a calling. Weeks later, the hospital discharged the twins. Arthur arranged a press conference, Nadia's portrait hanging behind the podium.
We announced the Nadia Reyes Foundation for Maternal Health, carrying forward the Bedouin wisdom that saved my family.
He pulled the cloth from the portrait. Nadia's eyes, wise and knowing, now watching over the room.
She's watching. Finally, the world will know her name.
Catherine stepped to the microphone, no longer a waitress but the keeper of sacred knowledge.
My grandmother taught me that skin is the first medicine. This foundation will teach that to every mother.
The room erupted in applause. Flashlight bursts illuminating her serene face as Arthur stood with the twins behind her. A tablet on the side displayed Lillian Sterling, her aged face wet with tears, watching her past and present merge.
Nadia would be so proud.
Catherine stood before the portrait, no longer invisible, her grandmother's legacy now a promise to the world. In the quiet of a private room, Catherine held both twins for the first time, her arms a cradle, her heart full.
Both of you, so small. But your father was once just as small in my grandmother's arms. May your skin always find warmth. May your breath always find air. The same blessing my grandmother whispered.
Arthur and Elena watched, their hands clasped, witnessing the ancient ritual that had saved both generations.
Grandmother, you are in this room. Every breath they take is because of you.
You are truly their guardian, Catherine. Not just in name, but in spirit.
They arranged for a family photo, a tablet propped to the side with Lillian's face glowing through the screen.
Smile, everyone. Your great-grandmother Nadia sent me to be here.
The camera clicked, freezing a new family forged not by blood, but by blessed hands across time. Catherine held them closer, and the blessing echoed into silence, a prayer answered across generations. Within weeks, Yusuf touched down in a European city, wide-eyed in a crisp new uniform, armed with calculus books instead of fear. Catherine enrolled in an accelerated midwifery program, her nights consumed by textbooks, her days by the foundation.
She traced diagrams of the womb, but her hands already knew the shape of a life arriving too early.
At the foundation office, she addressed a room of nurses, her voice carrying the cadence of her grandmother's hymns.
The skin remembers what machines cannot measure. It is the first incubator.
The nurses leaned in, skeptical, but compelled by a woman who had saved 2 lives with nothing but her own chest. Every week, she visited the twins, now plump and rosy, always holding them a moment longer than necessary.
She whispered the blessing into their soft crowns, the same sound their father's newborn ears had heard decades before.
In the nursery, Arthur had framed the Bedouin blessing, words from a desert tent now watching over a penthouse. And Catherine once invisible, now carried her grandmother's hands into every room, the waitress who became the keeper of 1,000-year-old wisdom. Months later, Catherine boarded a flight to the edge of the desert, a small bunch of wildflowers in her hand. She walked barefoot across the dunes, the wind lifting her dress, until she reached a simple stone marker no one else knew.
I brought you flowers, grandmother, and a story. The twins are healthy. The foundation carries your name. Every life I touch with these hands, it's because you taught me. I won't let it end.
She laid the flowers and pressed her palm to the warm stone, as if feeling a heartbeat beneath. Before she left, she picked up a small desert stone, smooth from centuries of wind. Back in the city, she entered the twins' nursery, the room hushed with their soft breathing.
This stone from her grave will watch over you, little ones.
And then she stood at the window, the sunset painting the skyline in the same hues as the desert she had just left. The circle was complete. The waitress who had only her hands now held a legacy that would never die.